Yuk is a support mage who carried his entire party by himself. However, they were ungrateful, treated him like trash, and paid him only a small amount. One day, Yuk finally had enough and confronted them about it, but they didn't seem to care. They claimed the only reason they let a B-rank adventurer like him into their A-rank party was out of pity. So Yuk made up his mind and left the party. The next day, he went to the Adventurers Guild, hoping to find a new party. That's when he met his student, Marina, who was very happy to see him. After he explained why he was there, she immediately asked him to join her party, which Yuka gladly accepted. Apparently, the rest of her party were also his former students. Rain, a priestess, and Silk, a ranger. Silk then asked if Yuk was really okay joining a D-rank party, considering he was a B-rank adventurer and there wasn't much for him to gain. But Yuk assured her that it actually suited him better. A-rank parties often took on extremely high-level quests and dungeons, and because he had to cover the cost of many items, he was constantly in debt. Lower-ranked quests, however, would offer a better balance between cost and compensation. Later, they accepted a quest to collect magic iron ore from one of the abandoned mine dungeons. There, Silk suggested they avoid fighting the 5th floor boss, and instead find a way to mine the ore before reaching it. Yuk agreed and suggested they start from the 4th floor. As they entered the dungeon, Yuk noticed that Marina was still using his old method of avoiding traps. He then told her to stop and pulled out his detecting lantern, which revealed all of the traps around them, amazed Marina and the rest of the party. Silk then wondered if the lantern was expensive, but Yuk shook his head and revealed that he had actually made it himself using alchemy. Once they ventured deeper, Yuk gave a bitter smile as he recalled that this was the first dungeon his previous party had entered, back when they still treated him kindly. Suddenly, a group of monsters appeared, blocking their way. Without hesitation, Yuki cast a series of physical enchantments on Marina, allowing her to one-shot all the enemies. The group was amazed, not just by the strength of his enchantments, but also by how he cast them without any incantation. Afterward, they took a short rest and checked their weapons before descending to the 2nd floor. There, they encountered undead miners. Yuki then used a protective spell to prevent the undead from getting close. Taking advantage of this, Rain concentrated a large amount of mana and cast a powerful turn undead spell, wiping them all out. Yuk was impressed since only a few could use the skill at such a scale. He then used refresh mana to restore Rain's magic, a rare ability that alone could qualify someone for an A-rank party. After that, Yuk poured holy water over the undead's footprints to prevent any flanking or pursuit. Concerned, Silk asked if that wasn't too costly, but Yuk reassured her as it was another item he'd made himself. Upon reaching the resting area, Yuk took out his magic bag and began cooking for the group. He used his soup stock artifact to conjure a random but always delicious soup. While eating, they noticed the food was not only tasty, but also infused with mana. Once they finished, they continued there to the 4th floor, where they encountered a rock lizard covered in ore. To limit its movement, Yuk slowed the creature with a time-manipulating skill and then buffed Marina, who took it down in a single strike. After collecting the ore from its back, they realized it still wasn't enough to complete the quest. So, Yuk suggested they defeat the 5th floor boss and head to the 6th floor. Marina and the others hesitated, thinking it was too risky, but Yuk reassured them. This time, he would fight the floor boss alone while they observed and learned. The others were shocked, unsure if he could really handle it. Before entering the boss room, Yuk pulled out a recording artifact called Camret to record the upcoming boss fight, as it is a hobby of his to documenting all his boss battles. Knowing this, Marina suddenly suggested they livestream the fight for fun, which Yuki agreed, and then he asked what their party name was. Looking at each other, Silk revealed that they actually didn't have one yet. That's when Marina suggested the name Clover, since there were 4 members, like the 4 leaves of a clover, and Yuk was their lucky 4th leaf. Everyone smiled and agreed it, thinking it was a fitting name. Before entering, Yuk buffed himself with Great Haste, Protection Shield, and Blink Shadow, and then began the livestream, and as soon as he stepped into the room, the boss lunged at him, but missed thanks to Blink Shadow. Yuk then cast 5 debuffs: Paralyze, Slow, Venom, Collapse, and Blindness, before finishing the fight with a powerful gravity spell. The others were amazed as they had never seen a battle like it before. After Yuk stored the boss's body in his magic bag to bring it back to the guild, a treasure chest appeared and the party beamed with excitement, ready to celebrate the successful completion of their first quest together. If you come this far, please consider liking and subscribing for more videos like this. Thank